that I point this out at the beginning, that our recitation and the rules will be based upon that of Hafs and Asim, and this is the recitation that is followed by the majority of mankind, the majority of Muslims. So the majority of Muslims from Pakistan, India, Egypt, Bangladesh, all of these countries, they recite this recitation of Hafs and Asim. Some other countries, they have different recitations like Algeria and Morocco and whatnot. But as I said, over 90 to 95% of the Muslim Ummah recites this particular recitation. So inshallah, this will also be the recitation that you are familiar with. Also, an important point that cannot be overemphasized. Tajweed consists of two parts. Two sections to really learn Tajweed. The first are the theoretical rules, and this is what we will cover in this class. So we're going to discuss, where to prolong it, where to stop, where to do the ghunnah, where to do this and that. These are the theoretical rules. This is only half of the science. The second half is the actual application, the practice of Tajweed. And this can only be done in front of a specialist, a qari. So don't think that just by attending these classes or listening to these lectures, you will become a specialist in Tajweed. No, this is only 50% of the job. You understand what to do. There remains another important fact, and that is to actually implement and practice it. Let me give you an example that will help illustrate this point. Suppose one of you sits in a physics class or a maths class, and he attends all the lectures of the professor, but he doesn't do a single problem. He doesn't actually sit down and solve a problem. He only attends the lectures. Will he really and truly understand physics or maths? The same applies to, let's say, a sports even, soccer or anything. If you sit down and you study all the rules of the sport, but you never actually play, are you going to become an expert at the sport? Of course not. No. Because there is also the application. This is only the theory, what we will discuss in this class. What is remaining is the application, and I cannot overemphasize this. Because you will think that you're pronouncing something correctly, but you have to have somebody sitting in front of you who knows the proper recitation, who can tell you that no, you made a mistake here, actually this is what you should have said, and so on and so forth. So this is something that we cannot overemphasize. Don't think that you will become an expert in Tajweed merely by listening to this series. No, this is only half the job. Now it is your obligation, every single one of you, to go find a person who knows the science of Tajweed, who is an expert, and then take time out of your schedule to recite to him so he can, if you like, fine-tune you or pick up your mistakes. Also, some practical advice. Pay attention to the rules. We're going to go very, very slowly. We're not going to go too much at a time. But it is important that you pay attention to the rule, and perhaps if you have a pen and paper handy so you can write down the notes that we're going to have, and we're usually going to put them up on the TV screen so you can see and write down the precise rule that we have. Also, we're going to have recitation in the show, so have a Quran at home so that you can follow along. We're going to say we're going to recite from this surah, open up that surah and see along with the Quran, see how we are reciting it so you can perfect your tajweed. Don't get frustrated if it's difficult in the beginning. Realize that Tajweed is an easy science, but it is frustrating. How is that? It's easy in that you'll understand the rules very simply. It's not that complicated. But it's frustrating in the actual application. Many of you might not know how to pronounce the letters properly. You will be coming from backgrounds other than the Arab background, so you will not know how to pronounce the letter perfectly. Therefore, it takes a lot of practice of the tongue. You must really tone down and discover hidden muscles, if you like, of the tongue, to actually fine-tune your qira'ah, to your recitation. So don't get frustrated in the beginning. This is a science which requires dedication and effort, but it doesn't require a lot of understanding. It's very, very easy science. So we will conclude our episode of today by reciting Surah Al-Fatiha, and we're actually going to start the etiquettes of recitation and the rules in the next episode. And I would like to point out that in this series we are going to combine between the physical and spiritual etiquette of recitation and the actual rules of Tajweed, and also some of the legal rulings or the fiqh of reciting the Quran. All of this we will discuss together, because we want you and us, all of us, to recite the Quran properly so we can be with the noble emissaries, with the angels in paradise, inshaAllah. With this we will recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Repeat after me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
الحمد لله رب العالمين.
الحمد لله رب العالمين.
الرحمن الرحيم.
الرحمن الرحيم.
مالك يوم الدين.
مالك يوم الدين.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم.
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم.
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم.
غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
MashaAllah. So with this we conclude our episode of today, and inshallah in our future episodes we will discuss the actual etiquette of recitation and the rules of tajweed. Until next time, we hope to see you then. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.